or the fact their first pick, sorry.
Just a weird ban for me overall. Like, do you if you have a Chen +1 on safe lane, do you care that much about Viper? Won't you bully him out with creeps? Not sure. To be honest, like even with like, Viper offlane has been an idea for a really long time, but right now in this patch, I haven't played more than 5-6 games versus Viper on off in all my pubs. So all my experience comes from watching games. I haven't seen many Chen versus Viper matchups too. But peculiar, like you said, Tsunami, usually is a hero that's picked versus Spectre, but also we come back to that combo of supports, right? And does Viper truly give you what you need in this game for Navi, which is, like Tigav said, probably not the case.
What's Viking going to go for? We got the IO. Is it the 4? Is it the 5? We don't know. Anticipation, it really hurts. But yeah, again for Navi, I like what are the bans for Viking actually? You got Lifestealer, PA, oh, and Anti-Mage. Okay.
Four carries actually. Sven, Lifestealer, Anti-Mage, PA. That's it. They're just banning out VTune. And man, I get them. This guy is a beast. If you give him the right matchup, like when you think about that last game, he's the one that brought it to minute, what, 65, 70? He's literally the one that carried them until that late game. Mars,
that's no fun. I was hoping maybe he might revert back to his CK that he was doing earlier in this tournament, but you wanted a pairing for the IO. Slardo was banned out, and it looks like Mars IO will be the offlane duo for Viking.
It also feels just like a really nice block pick as well, to some degree, right? Like you have this fact that for Na'Vi, a Rubik Mars lane would be very strong, especially if it's an IO Spectre lane. And there's the Storm Spirit, the classic Chen pairing that we normally see, right? And they want to go aggressive. They want to go in the face of Viking.
Yeah, it's something like Storm Spirit. That's literally everyone that plays versus Na'Vi bans out this.
Yeah,
because this is one of their strongest and scariest, and they get it in game 3. It's not like Viking are a game up and they're testing stuff out. No, they're just willing to play versus Navi's best. Storm Spirit as well in this game is good. It's good versus Wisp, it's good versus Spectre, because you can chase the Spectre over the trees, hunt her down in the mid game, and you can obviously do the same with Wisp, who really suffers versus heroes with high reach. And this does make the Wisp most likely on the Spectre lane, with Mirana dealing with the Chen, and it's a much better combo with Mars overall.
Yeah. The key thing here is, like, when you look at the heroes, like, my concern for Vikings is, like, okay, so how they're shutting down the Storm, right? They have Spear, they have Arrow, and that's it. But it's more about the laning phase, in my opinion, for Viking. This IO Spectre should be able to survive most lanes, so that's sustain. And then the Mirana and Mars, it's very potent, it's very aggressive. And depending on what creep comes in from Chen, guess what? You arrow it, get rid of it. Now there's not the mana burn. Now there's not this purge, etc. So Viking are all in on the fact that they have strong lanes, and then they're going to have this mid lane that will have a good matchup as well.
And I think you can deal with Storm with these. It would be cool to get another one, an additional hero that, like something like a Puck even on mid, or some catch, some reliable catch for Storm Spirit, which they most likely will get. But Mars and Mirana, if one of them buys Yules, like it gives you decent enough of a setup for that catch, but you need to get there first. And the troll pickup.
Yeah, the pacing of Navi's lineup is very scary. Like they're going to exit this laning phase. The Storm needs to basically rotate into the troll lane to enable him, or at least go away from him to open up his own jungle, because we'll probably see him go for a Battle Fury, try and scale into the game. The question is, though, it's like, if they run into one too many arenas, they could easily fall flat, and suddenly the Spectre is another Spectre game, right?
Viking want to slow down that pace. They ban out a Beastmaster from General, and I guess among pushing offlaners, General doesn't really have that many left. Unless if he wants to like bring back Visage from the dead or something, but I don't think that.
No.
Calm down now.
No. Don't give them any crazy.
I mean, when they get their hands on Chen, like honestly, Storm Spirit is one of the heroes that I trust Iceberg on more than anything else. And so that already gives me confidence. And then Chen as well. Like this is Navi's comfort zone. So if they were to step outside of the box, I would be okay with the offlane, but they are definitely putting a focus on protecting their mid lane Storm Spirit, banning out the Invoker and the Ember. And it is indeed the Void Spirit.
You know what's crazy, actually, Tsunami? You mentioned one of these pushing heroes that they could pick for offlane, and Viking GG, even though they're Storm, they ban out the Death Prophet because it's a possible offlane, right? With Navi. Void Spirit, also why I like it and is because Viking could take it too, and it wouldn't be that bad for them as well. Like they need one of these mobile heroes, they need something to Storm. They go DK. Alright. Not continue, please.
Thank you, Lizard. The key thing with the DK, quickly touching on that, it gives them that instant stun, but also another setup for their very pitiful stuns they have. They literally have a spear and an arrow and a shield. That's all they have. It's pretty underwhelming. So they're going to have to play off the fact they're going to react and play well, and then Spectre's going to carry them with overwhelming team fight. The flip
and
side
you get some
Na'Vi,
push as well, right? Like you get some push from both.
A smidge of push, like a very small smidge. But for me, I'm favouring Na'Vi. That much push. But for Na'Vi, they got this voice spirit where it's hyper elusive. He can itemize for tankiness, and now you have. How hard is it when you play pubs, lads? When you're trying to kill a troll, how many stuns do you need? How much control do you need? A Storm and a Void Spirit? 3 heroes on top of a Chen hill? I personally feel just the pacing of this game will allow for Na'Vi to just be unkillable unless they make some egregious mistakes. So I'm just going to already say that I think Na'Vi have got this third game. Their draft is too annoying to deal with. Too much pressure on Spectre.
It's his birthday, man.
Oh, okay.
You can't argue with the birthday boy. I'll go with Na'Vi as well. Like there's limited catch unless they really itemize properly and manage to get a couple of not even good pickoffs. They need to abuse Navi's mistakes. Like Tigaf said, it's all on Na'Vi. They can break it or make it in this match.
Well, if you want to give Tigaf a birthday gift, I'm sure he wouldn't mind if you go to egb.com and hit up that banner below. Check out the odds. But what did you do to your hair, you madman?
I'm just fixing it. People are calling me bald, so I thought I'd try and like clean
Welcome
up
to age, my friend. This is just embrace it while you still can.
Hello, howdy.
What are you talking about? Look at you, man.
K-pop Tigo.
Embrace the age. Look at his magnificence.
It's true. We're in our prime right now, and so is our casting duo, Nomad and 1437.
I'd look bold if you wear a hat all the time, right, guys? Yep, let's get into game number 3, Theban. Viking versus Na'Vi comes to its thrilling, hopefully, conclusion here. Who do you think has the edge?
Oh, it's very tough, but I gotta favor Viking just a little bit. I want to say they got this triple tanky strat that they are going with. Viking, this is like their bread and butter, honestly. Actually, Na'Vi is also playing their bread and butter. I've seen them play this multiple times. The Chen, Rubik, and Storm combo. This Chen is going to go to the offlane, absorb the pressure from the IO lane. IO doesn't really have a lot of kill potential, obviously, so he's just going to be stacking up camps, buying mech, and then the Storm is just going to go into that big camp over here and just farm up at like around 6 minutes or so. This massive stack that Chen will create for him. And then with that big like 11-minute Orchid timing, Iceberg is just going to try to make a lot of pressure on the map. But this game, he is playing into DK, Mars, and Spectre. These are not squishy heroes that are going to be easily phased by an Orchid. And on top of that, there is going to be an IO who is going to be ready to heal them up. So if those first initial timings from Iceberg, they don't net them some momentum, some kills, I think Viking are going to be looking pretty good.
Yeah, once more, I mean, it seems hard to doubt the Spectre after you overcame the Sven last game. They're clearly Viking are very confident with this. They have the eye on their side as well. I do wonder, though, I don't know, just Spectre, DK, Mars as a core duo. Who goes in? Who does the damage? Is it like
any
it's a
of
lot
them?
to put on a Mars? Any of them?
Oh,
okay, Celery. He's going to get killed off. General levels up the Aether Remnant, catches him out as he tries to run away, and that's going to be first blood going for Na'Vi.
Yeah, they're actually changing up the lanes too. It looks like Always Wanna Fly, the position 5, is going to be playing top lane into this Io and the Spectre instead. And Roger are going to be playing bottom. So it's kind of weird because now the Chen is against the Mirana, which is a little bit awkward for Chen too. We'll see how this plays out, what Roger's game plan is here in this bottom lane.
Yeah. Maybe it was some like 5-head trying to predict that Viking were going to switch up the lanes, but they didn't, and then it just kind of ends up being a 2 versus 2 as expected. But there we go. I mean, Roger's still going to have an okay time versus Morano, I believe.
Yeah, I'm a big culprit of this giving away first blood as a position 5 as well, and I must say, it just ruins games and lanes a lot.
Yeah,
like
yeah, it does.
This Rubik now is starting with a null talisman. Like what? And they're just gonna keep on spamming those fade balls, gonna get that extra advantage. It's gonna be very nice for them. And Spectre's like, oh, okay, all right. Didn't expect this.
Yeah, they tried to throw out the Remnant, unfortunately didn't quite connect onto the IO, so that's going to be that. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, we got the Chen. He's leading up into Aramis. I've noticed he's been doing something very cool. He's been keeping his creep behind him at all times, so Aramis can't actually arrow his range creep. He's been protecting it like his little baby, putting himself before it every single time, and Aramis was getting quite frustrated earlier on as he was trying to land the arrow onto the range creep, but couldn't really do it. Very cute.
Yeah, and he might just use his creep to bully the Mirana out as well from the jungle, so the small camp will spawn, but soon he'll realize that there's actually a sentry in there.
Ooh, get rid of that. Bad boy very shortly. There we go. Roger takes care of business down in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Iceberg laning into Boom over at mid. It is currently 12-2 for Iceberg versus Boom, who is 7-0. So the DK starting to struggle a little bit in this mid lane as the Storm just kind of overwhelming him with the damage which the Storm can pump out onto the creeps.
Yeah, and with this lane setup, it doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot of stacks for the Storm either, so Iceberg really going to have to pull ahead in this lane and use that advantage to be able to make plays on the side lanes instead.
Yeah, I mean, he's had 2 really good lanes in his previous game, and it looks like it's going to be no exception for the third game here, but not really due to the player matchup, but more the hero matchups have just kind of favored Iceberg pretty massively in all 3 games here.
Definitely. Storm very happy to fight up into the DK. Can always just drop those remnants for last hits. Boom,
Ooh, okay.
taking a little bit of extra damage.
He's just battering his Crumpet a bit. No real commitment here from the Storm. Just wants to keep him low, stop him being able to confidently run into the creep wave over and over again and really kind of contest the CS. So Iceberg really starting to pull ahead.
Testing his shield, you know, getting it battle tested.
Yeah, see if there's any chinks in his armor, but so far, no such thing. Meanwhile, down the bottom, we got V-Tune, who's 16-2, laning up into the Mars, who's also 17-2 now, as he grabs that last hit there. So very even stuff in the bottom lane. Seems pretty peaceful. Everyone's just chilling out. Maybe a bit of an advantage for Viking as they've got this Morana, who can go and arrow some creeps. I'm even going to see the stack, which the Sven has made as well. I think he's using the range creep to just go and make some stacks, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I fully expect Aramis to maybe arrow some of those creeps. He's actually going mid right now for the power rune. Celery is also over here.
Iceberg's doing a good amount of damage to Aramis, meaning he can't really stick around with Boomin coming across. They're able to secure this rune for the Morana.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, if that was like a DD... okay, first of all, the refill of the bottle on Storm is insane for him. So taking that away, and if that was like a DD, then this DK is actually afraid of dying. So making sure that that rune does go to Viking and not the Storm Spirit. He's running around now, killing some big camps. I think he noticed also there's like a triple stack now in the bottom side here. So even though Roger's not playing top, he is still stacking. So that's good.
Yeah, and Always Want to Fly has done a pretty good job along with General to put some pressure onto the Spectre. I mean, she's at 20 CS, General's at 23 and 5, so it's a bit of a disparity. Nothing really to get worried about yet for the side of Viking, but certainly doing kind of well on the side of Na'Vi. All these lanes are very equal this time. We've had some... the only difference is between Shad and between V-Tune is... once more, V-Tune's having a great time in lane. Two Vikings shove Roger down to the low ground. Get off. This bouncer room's mine. And then you get that push down to the low ground. He actually gets the full usage of the bottle as well, which is really nice for Toby.
I guess V-Tune having a pretty good lane was kind of expected since he is playing the Troll Warlord, one of the most dominating carry heroes in the laning stage. And up against the Mars can't really push this hero out of the lane. Always constantly going to get hit.
Throw the arrow.
Yeah, kill up that catapult, maybe apply a little bit of pressure onto the tower with this dragon form.
Celery up at top. He's okay, being chased by Always Wanna Fly in general. Again, just trading, and it's actually the Marsdale at bottom also dropping low as well. Everybody's dropping low at this point, but no one really going down just yet. Still only that IO First Blood, which is the only kill that's really happened so far, as Aramis just kind of fishing for some arrows with the Sacred Arrow. However, Iceberg jumping on top of Aramis here just to chase him back. This time wants a rune for himself and grabs himself the Arcane Rune. Very nice for him.
Oh, that's big. That's a huge rune right now. If they actually get some kind of TP middle, they could potentially kill Boom if he goes out of position. But Boom, respecting the Arcane Rune, not going to be hitting that tower.
Toby at bottom, being blocked up. Nice moves from the Outwolf here from Roger, and that's going to result in a kill onto Toby. They're able to get off the damage and bring him down. Really nice job. Just using the Ghost with a Frost attack and using the Outwolf for the body blocks.
Oh,
nice
those are amazing creeps for Chen to have at this stage in the game. Absolutely amazing. And they do insane amount of damage. Just click on both of them. It's like 80, almost, yeah, it's 80 damage, and the other one's at 60, and then one of them can crit too.
Yeah.
This Chen is an absolute beast right now. They want to kill him again. Someone's getting teleported bottom, I think. Oh, it got cancelled. So Chen... Oh, no. Okay, now he's teleporting. He actually cancelled the first time, so he's actually teleporting somebody. Bot lane. They want to kill this Mars again. Iceberg.
Well, hello, Iceberg, and hello, Aramis. That's going to be the target here. She has got the lead, but the Void's still going to catch onto it. Can they finish the job? Oh, Iceberg jumping up to the high ground with the Electric Vortex. They will be able to finish off Aramis there, along with the Overpower. Very nicely done.
And no more leaps.
Yeah.
This is a lot of pressure Navi are applying in this early game. That being said, Boom, what is his plan? He's got that dragon form. Is he going to try to put his own pressure middle? That's what it's looking like.
You know, I think
might just have to trade. Yeah, they might just have to trade the towers here.
Doing DK things out. The stun coming onto the Rubik, follow it up with an arrow from Mirana as well. Goodbye, Always Wanna Fly. General going to TP in just to make sure this tower doesn't fall. We'll make sure it stays up, but won't be able to do anything about Always Wanna Fly's death there, as that was a nice little combination between the DK and the Mirana.
And the tower's pretty low too, 400. Maybe the next dragon form, they'll be able to achieve the tower take there. But that was a really nice stun from Boom, like finding the angle so that the arrow will hit.
Yeah. Back in towards the mid lane here on Always Wanna Fly. Not too sure what the idea is from him. I guess he just wants to hold back the forces of mid.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Iceberg's taking some stacks in the jungle.
There it is. The delicious Iceberg stacks. Like that stacks literally has his name on it. You don't touch those stacks. No, you'll actually have to deal with Iceberg, and you don't want to deal with Iceberg.
He will come to your house and he will beat you up.
Yep. And that's going to help him get to his Orchid much faster too. He's looking at like that 11-minute Orchid timing. That's what we normally see whenever he plays Storm and he gets these stacks from the Chen. And he's on pace for that at the moment.
Yeah, he's been involved in a couple of kills and he's been able to farm up these stacks. So very nice for him. Nice peaceful game. Exactly what you want to be seeing when you're playing this Storm, as he makes the stack quite nicely there.
Check out Roger right now, just taking away the camps of Viking right now. And just playing up in the jungle in a very aggressive position on the map. Even if they get to him, it's not going to be the easiest kill either.
All in all, a quiet-ish laning phase, but yeah, should they be doing anything about this Storm, or is it okay to leave him just farming these stacks?
What can they do though, right? They don't really have many playmakers until this Dragon Knight hits like the Blink Dagger and such. And his Dragon form just came back up. Their only real play is like Dragon Tail into a Sacred Arrow. Mars, he had a pretty tough time bottom, so he's just spending whatever he can right now, just catching back up, getting his first item.
Yeah, he's still very scared of V-Tune though.
He's going to the bounty rune though. Roger, he might be in a lot of trouble. Like,
oh boy, yeah, you can say that again. Boom's going to bring him down, drops of flames onto him to secure that kill, and it's going to be a dead little Roger. Meanwhile, V-Tune, he's actually going in for an interesting build. He's going Sanjin Yasha for his very first item in this game. Not opting for a farming item. Why is that?
It's good. Like, he probably just plans to go for the Sanjin Yasha satanic build, right? Just the status is this. Isn't really planning for maybe the BKB. I mean, he does have the BKB queued up right now, but I think he'll actually change his mind depending on the pace of the game. Normally when you see the SNY, you will see the satanic instead of the BKB route.
Mid lane, can they defend this tower? It's the question. The Remnant comes out from General. Is not going to connect here. The Spirit Brothers here is trying to defend it. Boom just constantly getting in these right clicks, really trying to bring it down. The deny comes through from the Rubik, and they will be able to drop that tower themselves.
That's good.
Still, Boom takes it.
Yeah, I mean, Navi did deny the tower. That's probably the best result they were going to get from that. The Dragon Knight was just going to peck away at that tower until it died anyway. So now they're going to look to open up maybe bottom side of the map for Viking. They do have the Haunt available. Troll has already moved top. He's a beast right now, so I don't think Viking have any interest in fighting into him or the Chen. This Chen is enormous. He's level 7.5. He's got the ult ready. He's got some really strong creeps.
Roger is a beast. He's got his Aura Boys ready to go, and he's looking for some blood. Ooh, maybe they do some stack stealing right here. Shad is unaware.
Oh boy, that's a lot of stacks. Yep.
It is.
Yep,
This
yep,
is really
yep.
bad. B2, Iceberg, everyone's coming in to take down these big boys, and it seems like they are unaware of it on the side of Viking right now as the TP in from the DK gets immediately stunned up by the arrow stolen by Always Want to Fly. Meanwhile, they get robbed and they don't even know about it.
He's still a little bit off the Orchid though. He needs 400 more gold to finish the Orchid. So not the 11-minute Orchid, looking more like a 12-minute Orchid instead, but still very good. Stacks takes like, Troll, Storm. They're going to be very happy about that. Navi off to an amazing start at the moment. But the mid tower is still alive for Viking. That's like the big point at the moment, I think, for them. Just to be able to hold this and not have a lot of pressure put on that tower will allow them to keep on farming.
Yeah, and in a stark comparison to the first game, they're actually going for, Boom's all right. They're going for the Manta on the Spectre this time around, rather than going for that Radiance. So Shad just wanting to get that damage off straight away, wants the Purge, maybe for this Orchid, which is coming out on the Storm. I like this from Shad. Makes a lot of sense in this game. Yeah.
Definitely. Just killing off this Rubik, that's a big thing in these fights. I think Shad would love to just take that hero out right away.
Yeah, bring down the big boy. He is going to have quite a high game impact. And without him, there's very little on the support duo which can actually offer that much in terms of lockdown. It all kind of falls to General if that's the case. And I guess the Storm with his Vortex as well.
Celery gonna finish up his mech now in the bottom lane. So that's a pretty big item too. It's gonna be a gigantic heal on someone that Navi are gonna try to open on. The Orchid is on the Storm. So if with this mech timing, if they can somehow counter this Orchid play, that's gonna be coming out. I think Viking can get a lot out of this.
A look across, Orchid comes down onto the Mars. That's a reveal, and that's going to be a big hero brought down. Toby can't do anything about that one. He is just straight up going to die. Down goes the Mars, and immediately into the pit from the side of Na'Vi. Zero hesitation from this team. Very, very nicely done from them. They are into the pit. I mean, Vici doesn't have lifesteal, does he? So it doesn't seem to really matter, though.
Yep, they got the Spectre Dagger to give him a little bit of vision in there. But they're going to keep going with this. 10 seconds for the Mars. Io is there, ready with a 10-stick charge. Mech can definitely cover this DK.
Face. The Orchid comes out onto him, and Vici's going to pop the ultimate, try and bring him down. Celery jumps in with the heals, though, keeps the DK alive, and he's barely brought down at all. Meanwhile, Celery, he's going to be in trouble as Iceberg jits through the fight, kills him off, now looks across to the DK. DK's going to die, but he really comes down from the Mars, trying to bring down the Troll Warlord, but he is way too tanky for them to finish the job, especially with their DK dead. So Viking are going to call it quits, back themselves away, and give that Roshan into the hands of Na'Vi.
Oh, that is so nice from Navi. Just taking that fight right before Mars is actually alive. So it's still going to be a 4 versus 5, forcing Viking's hand. And then Mars coming in late, still drops the arena after the Dragon Knight and the Io were already dead. Now they got some really awkward cooldowns on the heroes too. And the Storm Spirit, man. Arcane Rune also has the TP back home. Chen, Divine Favor Recall with an Aegis. Oh, jeez. This is looking like Navi are in the driver's seat and they're just going to keep running at Viking. I don't even know how Viking are supposed to defend this at the moment for the next 5 minutes.
They have the DK with the Breathe Fire. I think that's the kind of best option in terms of actually keeping their towers alive. dump Spectre in the front lines with the Blade Mail and just have Boom kind of sitting in behind, ready to use that Breathe Fire should she get into trouble. And hopefully they will be able to keep her alive. Pulse comes out from Spectre. A bit more lag. Servers are kind of struggling today. I know they were struggling a little bit yesterday as well.
Yeah, it was. I was playing games. I think I was spiking every single game. It's a bit crazy.
I'm
Don't know
sure
what's
they're
going on,
working
servers.
hard on some back-end updates, guys. Hopefully,
So this
fingers
game
crossed.
really reminds me of Game 1 from Navi. Like, I think they're just so much more comfortable playing on Radiant as well.
Does feel that way as Fly's kind of breaking out here. The Marana dropping very, very low, and it's going to get finished off by the arrow from Always Want to Fly. Me, one of the back lines. Iceberg's managed to find the IO. Sunspot, bring him down. Boom in some trouble as well. He's invisible, but it doesn't make a difference. They've got the vision, they've got the damage. They surround the DK, and he will fall as well. And that is going to be 3 heroes down the side of Viking. It feels very awkward. I mean, that was Viking actually starting that fight, but once more they get brought down. I feel like they should either be avoiding the engagements or committing fully to it, rather than this kind of wishy-washy, unsure gameplay that's coming out from them right now. Is that harsh or?
Spectre didn't click Hunt, right, when they jumped the Rubik. So I think that was like the most awkward thing. The Dragon Knight committed, they went in for it, and then the Spectre not haunting and following up just made it so awkward. And the exit is not that easy anymore because Iceberg is so happy to take fights right now. He's got Aegis. He's got a regen bottled up too.
The dream. Oh my goodness. Narrowly avoids that arrow there. Zips out of the way just in time, and regen coming out from him.
Arena?
Meanwhile, we have an Arena in the backlines as they try to go onto the Chen. They should be able to bring him down, though I say that. The Med comes out in time from him. He's got a Hand of God as well, so he's trying to bait out a little bit more. Still holding on to that Hand of God as the Io's got to get dropped instead with a big jump in from Iceberg once more, and now turning his attention towards Toby. Toby getting very, very low, gets down to the low ground. Meanwhile, the backlines, they find Shad. Shad's in deep, but he has got a team behind him, and the Spear's going to force him back, but fish him out with a beautiful little remnant from General. Can Shad get away? The Axis connect onto him. He has the one. They're jumping forward. Iceberg out of mana. The Shad will be kept alive, and they can't go any further than that. The tier 2 will offer a modicum of safety for the side of Viking, and Iceberg, the spear. It was so close. He felt it on the whiskers, but he didn't quite connect, and that's going to allow that TP to complete. Well, that was actually pretty good from Viking, I would say.
Yeah, it was a lot better than I thought because the initial hunt, he didn't go in for the Chen either to help the Mars kill him. So I thought that looked like a very bad fight for Vikings, but they come out just trading 1 for 1. Storm did not lose the Aegis though in the end there. Still has that available for another 2 more minutes. So I don't think Navi are going to stop with their aggression. Viking did everything they could to keep Shad alive. That looked very scary near the end. Troll was not able to get any roots.
No IO to help him out, just having to rely on his own devices. Luckily, he had a nice big stick, which healed him up and just about kept him alive, but way too close for comfort for Shad in that engagement. But still, the engagement survives, brings him closer to that Manta. Once he has that Manta, it's going to be really easy for this Master jump in the back lines, and then the Horn comes through to pop that Manta, blow somebody up. That Chen will not survive. I mean, to be fair, Chen wouldn't survive if Shad had come in on top of him in that engagement last, but
Mars.
unfortunately, they under-committed a little bit. Toby, maybe in some trouble. There it is. There is that silence, and that's going to be Toby quickly dealt with, along with the penitence coming out from Roger. Very nice spell when you go for players like that. And now they can focus on the next tower. Tier 2 looking like it's going to crumble.
Yeah. I think Navi has run this strategy like 4 or 5 times. I'm quite surprised Viking actually ended up giving that Storm to Navi, because every time they pick Rubik Chen, this is their go-to hero. And if they don't get the Storm, they'll go for like a Zeus. And Zeus is not that bad, right? Compared to the Storm with the recall from the Chen. It's just like anytime a hero shows up, he just zips in, Orchid, kill the hero, TP back to base, get recalled by the Chen. He got full mana, 4 resources again. He's going to keep on doing this, rinse and repeat. Tier 2 tower now taken. They don't take the outpost top though. That's a bit awkward. All right, General's running for it.
Realizes, wait a minute, I'm on the clock here, folks. So, what point are we expecting Vikings to fight? Is it just that Manta we're waiting for?
Any point where they can catch someone off guard on Navi's side. Right now, they're just too grouped up. You cannot fight 5v5 into this Chen at the moment. He's got Mech, Hand of God. He's just going to heal everybody back up. Troll Warlord is so strong with that ulti as well. They just took way too much of the map too early in the game on the side of Navi.
Yeah, those stacks as well. I mean, it felt really bad to lose those and giving them to the Storm and the Troll. that was the Spectre's comeback, or even the DK's comeback farm, and they just got taken away from them. Na'Vi with some really nice rotations and engagements, and just kind of predicting the movements here. There's pings coming out from the side of Viking as they are all invised up, looking maybe at General, but unfortunately a very, very tricky fish to catch. So he's going to get himself away.
And it looks like Toby goes for the Eels instead of the Blink Dagger in this game. That's gonna...
V-Tune sees Chad, but in they go. Eels comes out. The team, they got to come nigh by pretty damn quickly, and the IO is going to connect and actually just reloads away. Says, no, we don't want anything to do with that nonsense.
Yeah, and Na'Vi also respected the fact that it's expected that they might be jumping. So the Spectre, if he gets IO, mech healed up, it could be really bad.
Let's see who they decide to jump. Right now, the Spectre's just kind of TP'd into the middle of everybody, and now, well, horning across back. Meanwhile, the Spear is going to come down onto the Rube for the Spectre. She's running the backlines right now, starting to get into this engagement. Yule's up now, she's controlled down. Zari's going to be the one who dies. Iceberg looks across, over towards the Mars. Mars just trying to go mono with Iceberg. Not going to win that engagement. Iceberg finds another, sending him godlike, and now the Spectre, she's in some real trouble. General's done a great job of controlling up Shad, and down she shall fall. Another hero dead for the side of Viking, another fight lost, and another huge win for the side of Na'Vi. They are just not dropping anything right now.
Huge win. They jumped the Rubik. They couldn't even bring him down. All he needed was just a mech, the magic one.
Under the tier 4, the ultimate's pop from the Troll Warlord. They've got more than enough damage to run through him. He's gone. Boom is out of the equation as well. Oh my god.
I hate to say it, Nomad, but Na'Vi have reached a point where they're just pretty much unkillable. Like, this is insane. This is absolutely dominating in this game.
If you had watched the previous game, you would not have predicted that this is how this one would go, but 22 minutes in and Na'Vi are looking for the GGs. Like, they're pushing so hard. Maybe they'll leave with the respawn coming on the DK, 15 seconds away. They take the tier 2, although that said, they're doing a lot of damage to the Mars here with the range bashes coming through. Oh my goodness, they'll take him down. Toby is going to get his cheddar shredded, and they move across towards Celery. Celery's gone as well. 2 more heroes brought down. The chain feed is, and that's it. They will call it. GG is called. That does not feel good at all for the side of Viking to drop this third game in this way, but the series will go to Na'Vi.
They just speedran that game. They're like, all right, game 2 was a bit long, so let's just end this so I can go to sleep, you know?
Oh. Yeah, someone had a hot date, I think, which was, guys, 22 minutes, I gotta be out, she's waiting. Yeah, no, wow, game's done quick, Dota edition. That was ridiculous. Na'Vi take game number 3 in 22 minutes and 39 seconds. Not messing around in the sliders. Iceberg, what a series from him. 10-0-4 in this game. He dominated.
Definitely. I completely underestimate the power of the Storm in this game. Like, I just saw it last second. I was like, wait, hold on. I've seen this draft many times, actually, from Na'Vi. And then when you see it in practice again, like, they didn't do this strategy for a little bit, so maybe the teams forgot, but it's there on Na'Vi's Dota buff. Like, you can see it. They won many games with this, but in practice is just insane, right? This Chen just recalling the depleted Storm Spirit, and you just keep going. You use the Chen's early game dominance, the mech and the ultimate, and the strength from this Troll Warlord as well, who can just break towers. It was a really solid lineup. It's like so punishing if you lose the early game.
Yeah, it's really, really brutal there from the side of Na'Vi. But looking throughout the series, who was the standout performer for you?
Oh, it's got to be Iceberg, I think. Yeah, okay, no, I lied. I think Chen, that last game, especially Roger, that last game, like, Roger was on point. Like, he made this Mirana work for it, right? And then he still managed to make stacks, helped the Troll win the lane, was in the right place to take objectives, and just kept on pressuring. Like, he even played in the enemy triangle area, taking creeps away from the opponent as well. It's all those little things, right, that make you build an advantage like that. And that's what Roger delivered in that last. And then his mech, his Hand of God, he never rushed any of his heals. All those things helped them win.
Yeah, and in game number 1 and 2 as well, his Phoenix was pretty damn on point. His IO was pretty much what dragged that game out so much. Saving the Sven over and over again, making some beautiful plays with his Sven. And yeah, just generally Roger having a fantastic series along with Iceberg, both of them kind of enabling each other. Alrighty, folks, well, that is it for this series, but we're about to dig even deeper into the analysis. We'll send it over to our mining crew, aka the panel, to break it down even further.
Oh, I got it. Because are we like mining for information here? Because I'm here pickaxing away, seeing that Navi, what a pace, what a brutally quick pace that was set that game.